Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. You just go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. So you can go to chat there. You can watch the live broadcast, or you can listen to the broadcast all at one page. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. How's everybody doing today? I'm having one of those mornings already. Yeah, it's a weird one. Just bear with me. Trying to check something out. All right. Now let's actually get on with the show. Shall we? No more diddling around. Trying to check into some stuff. So the WikiLeaks founder is revealing a lot of information. Oops. Hang on. He's well, the WikiLeaks total brain farm founder says he has proof that Google is directly engaged with Hillary Clinton's campaign, which it's not a startling revelation, but it is a little bit on precedent. I don't think that they should be that involved in the elections. To me, with what they're trying to do, they're trying to sway information. But the founder of WikiLeaks appeared via video link from the Ecuadorian embassy in London as part of the New Era of Journalism Farewell to Mainstream International Media Forum in Moscow. He said Google is directly engaged with Hillary Clinton's campaign and claimed the technology giant used the United States State Department on a quid pro quo basis. Of course, when she is in power, she is a problem for freedom of speech. We know what she is going to do. And she made the chart for the destruction of Libya. She was involved in the process of taking the Libyan armory and sending it to Syria. The founder of WikiLeaks reiterated his claim that Clinton is a war hawk that seemingly wants to start wars. What we have with Clinton is someone who is a hawk, but who has the tools of legal interventionism, a rhetoric cover to start wars, and someone who seemingly wants to start them. From WikiLeaks' perspective, Hillary Clinton is a problem in terms of war and peace. He also points out the former Google CEO Eric Schmidt is now heading the Pentagon Innovation Board. It doesn't get better than that. Now, my old state that I used to live in, New Jersey, when I left, they were trying to take out all the circles in the state. What does my town do? They're putting in more circles. Great. But Google is heavily integrated with Washington Power at personal level and at business level. Google, which has increased control over the distribution channels, is intensely aligning itself with the U.S. exceptionalism. Google shows the will to use that at different levels. It will inevitably influence its audience. The founder and editor-in-chief of WikiLeaks added, oh my God, can I not speak this morning yet? Whew. Dang. Google is an intensely Washington, D.C. aligned company. I say a Google exit from China. It seems much more to do with Google's feeling that it is part of the family America and that it is opposed to the Chinese. Fortune reported last year that researchers had found that Google search rankings could potentially decide the outcome of an election. Through 5 experiments in 2 countries, biased rankings and search results can shift the opinions of undecided voters by 20% or more, sometimes even reaching as high as 80% in some demographic groups. That right there is why we have to watch out and limit what we believe when we go on the internet. Google is trying to change elections. They did it as an experiment. Ooh, that doesn't scream trouble, does it? If Google tweaks its algorithm to show more positive search results for a candidate, the researchers say the searchers may form a more positive opinion of him and her. And we see that. And we kind of got that a little bit. If you search Hillary Clinton, you're going to get more positive articles than negative. Even though there's more negative out on Hillary Clinton, they are trying to hide the information. And so last night, I try not to comment on forums that have to deal with news article. I try to stay away from those because they can be very aggravating. I broke my rule. And last night, There was a poll done in North Carolina, and Trump's like 1 point behind, which is a good thing. And brain fart. It's God, people need to think. They really do. They really need to think before they engage their mouth sometimes. But last night it was they didn't have Jill Stein in the poll because she will not be on North Carolina's ballot. So why put her in the poll when she's not going to be on the ballot? She makes no difference. You'd be getting a false report out of North Carolina with the poll numbers. It seems pretty cut and dry. We have people freaking out. And Tuesday I'd gone over a lot of numbers of Trump. The massive amount of the Facebook likes, Twitter followers, live views of their live videos, standing videos, rally numbers, all that I gave. And I posted that to someone that was bitching and saying there's no way Trump can win. And it's just funny how your gibberish doesn't mean anything. Wait a minute. Pointing out that Trump has almost double the amount of Facebook likes on his page. He has 3 million more Twitter followers. It's like 74-1 ratio on the live video feeds, and like 8-1 on a video that was done. I forget the date that it was done, but they were both done on the same day, and it's like an 8-1 ratio of people watching more of Trump's videos over Hillary's. The live that I said was what, a 74-1 would in Trump's favor. Trump does 22 rallies in 17 days. Has like 110,000 rally attendees, which comes out to like 55 or 5,000 roughly an event. But then you look at Hillary, and she's got 11 events that she's done in the 17 days. Sure, Snikey. I don't want to give out false information. Let me just pull this up real quick. It's ridiculous how low of a number she has when it comes to this. All right. 14,000 estimate total attending record for those 11 events, with an average estimate attendance of 1,318. Those numbers scream big time. And the fact that I had to explain this to somebody really scared me. Because it's pretty kind of cut and dry, showing the difference in numbers that people are attending. And that's kind of the way they're going to vote. When you're talking 110,000 in 17 days compared to 14,000 in 17 days, those numbers are staggering. He is almost 100,000 people over what goes to her events. There's been events that had to be canceled due to no attendees or not enough. The numbers are just staggering. And then you go, and I put these numbers in. There's a group that didn't like what they were hearing from mainstream media, didn't feel the numbers were right. So they called 1,000. They made 1,000 calls in every state. So that's 50,000 phone calls they made that were put into this poll. 33% of them were Republican, 33% were Democrat, and 34% independent. Trump got 33,478 votes. That's a 67% of the vote. Hillary got 9,788 votes. That's 19%. Now, why I bring this up is because if you look at online polls, that is where online polling is coming out. Some a little higher, maybe some a little lower. But they have this massive Trump turn. The only ones that are showing it is the mainstream media. That's it. And listen, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but these numbers that are actually out there, I mean, 10 million, 10.4 million likes for Facebook for Trump, 5.6 million for Hillary Clinton on Facebook. He almost doubles her amount. And these are numbers that they realize that they have to look into the last two presidential elections, the last several even congressional elections. When they go to predict, they're looking at these numbers. And now another number that pops in is those live videos done on Facebook and how many people are watching those videos. Those numbers all have to be taken into account. And every time I see all that put together, it's always in favor of Trump. But we'll find out exactly come November. We're down to, 70-some days? It's getting closer and closer. It's these polls, and they got people worried. They do. Like I said, I had to talk someone back from the ledge last week, I think it was, or the week before. They had kind of given up hope. And I've gotten there, too. I've gotten to that edge of, oh, shit. This is going to be unwinnable. And yeah. Hold on one sec. We have a little bit of mystery here at SHR Media, and we're trying to figure something out. Now, on to a little bit of a world news. Things in Germany are not getting any better. Actually, we're going to hold off on that. We're pretty close to a break, and I don't want to start a new article. So we'll just go on. I think we all, during this election, it's like we're all on edge after what has happened the last several years with this current administration and how bad things have gotten in this country. I think we're all on edge, and we're so worried about... See, I don't know if there was that much voter fraud that got Obama reelected, or the more scarier point is that there's that many mindless lemmings that bought into all the bullshit of the current administration. So that's one that really scares me. Is it the people, or was there just massive voter fraud? I don't know. I really don't know, and I don't know if I want the answer to that one. I think there's such overwhelming numbers for Trump, such overwhelmings against the Democrats right now. Whether it's I'm being hopeful, the hopeful thinking type thing, or I just see the good in people, which is something that I normally don't do. But I think a lot of people have been tired of what has been going on in this country for the past 7.5 years. They see exactly what is going on. So they I see too many people leaving the Democrat Party, and yeah, there's some going from the Republican to the Democrat, but the numbers are just not there. They're not there. It just seems really, really weird. And it's a good thing, because the one thing that I've talked about multiple times that I really hate that the Never-Trumpers have done is we've been trying to get people from the Democrat Party to see the light and come over to the Conservative Party. Well, when people start to do it, these Never-Trumpers are bashing them and holding it against them. Well, we're never going to grow if we don't forgive. I don't even want to say forgive, that we just forget that they were once Democrats. And it's not a process that happens overnight. It is a slow process that happens. We have to open our eyes and understand that, and allow them some time to fully take in the conservative thought. But I see too many that have opened their eyes to the bullshit that has gone on for the last 7.5 years or more. Okay, I just saw something out of the corner of my eye. Tornadoes have hit areas heavily in Indiana. Governor Pence is off the campaign trail and is back home touring the areas that have been affected. I'll see if I can find any more during the break. And you listen to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, ICRN Networks, Red Nation Rising, Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Conservative media listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Much Show with its host, the Jersey Boy. boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here, we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast, if you want to be part of the conversation, just go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. You can watch a broadcast, you can listen to a broadcast, and you can join the chat and be part of the conversation. All at the same time, one website. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.one/SHOP. Pick up, we got so many different t-shirts. We have Reaver Common Sense t-shirt, SHR Media t-shirts. We have Blue Lives Matter t-shirts. We have survival bracelets that are custom made, and we also offer pocket constitutions. So go to REAVER.one/SHOP and get them while you can. So now we got to put the list of, watching Google and their results. Now Germany is telling its citizens to stockpile food and water. The German government is reportedly planning to tell its citizens to stockpile food and water in case of a terrorist attack. According to Reuters, the German newspaper, Frankfurt, newspaper in Germany, reported that the government is planning on unveiling a 69-page report instructing citizens to stockpile food, water, and other necessities. They've been importing jihadists into their country for, good 2-3 years now? And, well, seems that they kind of got to the point that they understand that they might reported some of the worst of the worst. The concept for civil defense created by the Interior Ministry claims that an attack on Germany is unlikely. Regardless, the report still allegedly tells citizens to prepare appropriately for the development that could threaten our existence and cannot be categorically ruled out in the future. The newspaper claims the program also calls for Germans to hoard items such as medicine, batteries, blanket, cash, coal, and wood for fires. If they did not foresee an issue, they would not be putting this out. They know something that they are not publicizing and that they don't want publicized. The problem is the government has brought it upon themselves. The German government has brought it upon the citizens and that's the part that's really messed up. The government and so many countries' governments are bringing the problems, and the ones that are paying the price are the citizens. And it looks like the ones in Germany that are going to pay the ultimate price will be the citizens. This is reportedly the first time the German government has told citizens to stockpile material in case the catastrophe since the end of the Cold War. Germany has recently fell victim to multiple Islamic terror attacks. But yet they don't foresee any more happening, but we're telling you to go out and hoard these items. That makes about as much sense. Well, I can't even finish that statement because it's really weird that I shouldn't say it's the governments bring these problems into the country, and then it is blamed, or the ones that pay the ultimate price are the people. And that's the scary, scary part, is the people pay the price, the citizens, not these government officials. The government officials aren't going to refund the citizens for the money that they're going to be spending to stockpile their house because the government screwed up. Because the government imported its own jihadi terrorists. And that is what we have been talking about here in the United States. But, of course, the Democrat government, labels us with names and so forth. But yet we're seeing it worldwide. Now, I know I'm a little late reporting on this next issue. But I want to bring in this article because of his little comment that he made while he was in Louisiana. As we all know, Barack Obama finally went to Louisiana. He got done his vacation, so he figured, it's not interrupting his golf time anymore, that he would do his friggin' job finally. And instead of, not going there for politics and just going there as a president, he had to make his little political digs towards Hillary's opponent. And I find it funny that Hillary cannot stand on her own. She needs all these people. She needs Biden. She needs Obama. She needs Bernie. She needs all these people. And before we even get into this article, I've really got to point something out. And it was somebody last night made the comment, and it just made a lot of sense. And it seems Hillary's falling into the trap, too. Right now, nationally, I think it's Trump up by 1. Now, think of all the money that Hillary has been spending. Think of what Jeb Bush did, spending all that money. He spent like $150 million in the primary in the short time he was in it. And he did it with negative ads and all these ads attacking Trump, and it got him nowhere. And it seems Hillary's falling into that little trap also. She's spending all this money, and she doesn't have much to show for it. Compared to what Trump's spending, there's a big difference. She has had commercials for several weeks, at least here in Florida, attacking Trump. And they don't seem to be having a huge effect on the people. See, everybody was attacking Trump because he hadn't put out ads yet. But he just started them this past weekend. And I got thinking, why do you want to start months and months beforehand? And you're going to run out of all that money after a while. Where he starts later, and those ads are going to be running closer to the election time. But back to the original point of all these ads attacking Donald Trump. And it was like that during the primary. The man has been attacked repeatedly by the media, from his opponents, since the first day the primaries opened up. But yet, here he is, people. He's still trucking along very nicely. Now, Barack Obama goes to New Orleans to survey the flood damage. He was kind of shamed into doing it by Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. And he was asked by a reporter if he was concerned about candidates politicizing disasters, which he has been the number one he has been the number one political person to use a disaster to his advantage, as he screams people shouldn't do it. But he said, no, I don't. First of all, one of the benefits of being 5 months short of leaving here is I don't worry too much about politics. That is the statement you want to make now that you're late getting to the flood-ravaged state of Louisiana. Whether it was directed towards Trump and the election coming up, that you were able to break away from your vacation to go help campaign money for. But when you go to Louisiana, one of your statements is going to be, first of all, one of the benefits of being 5 months short of leaving here is I don't worry too much about politics. Nice. It's and listen, I also, another conversation I had gotten into, people were like, we're comparing that Bush didn't get down there fast enough and he was attacked in the media. People attacked him. And now Obama doesn't get down there fast enough. And they give him a pass. He's on vacation. He was able to go campaign for Hillary, even though there's been some dates canceled that it seems that Democrats may be taking a little step away from Hillary. From what I was reading, there's been war rooms set up for all the scandals that popped up in the past and ways to fight it. DNC trying to come together. But with all the new scandals that are coming up, it seems people are backing away from Hillary. Huffington Post is somewhat backing away from Hillary. MSNBC is backing away from Hillary. Obama has dropped out of a huge fundraiser for her in the wake of all these new scandals. Pay to play while she was Secretary of State is one of them. The email situation is not going anywhere. Seems more emails have been found. It just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper for Hillary. And it's not looking that good for her. And it's funny, when Obama was a senator, he bashed FEMA. Now that he's been the president, he urged all Americans not to criticize the federal government. It just seems funny how the double face goes on. They're going over how Trump's behind in the polls. It is absolutely amazing how bad even Fox is scared of Trump. Now, this one I found sick and depraved, and the RNC needs to step up and step in on this. It's one thing if you were a Republican and you're not backing Trump. I'll never say you have to vote. I don't go into that. It is your constitutional right to vote for whoever you want, back whoever you want. But what the chairman of Travis County Republican Party did was borderline slander and just an all-around disgusting, vile comment. He was out there holding a sign, and he's the chairman, don't forget, of the Travis County Republican Party. And he was leading the protests against GOP nominee Donald Trump, and the chairman dressed up in a jester's hat and carried a sign calling Trump a child rapist. That is just absolutely disgusting. And RNC Chairman Priebus needs to step in on this one. I don't see how they can sit back and allow such disgusting tactics be used. I'm for going after Democrats with the same power or same playbook that they come after us. I'm not for unless the person was an actual child rapist. But to throw it just to try to slander someone's name is borderline illegal, if not illegal. But this chairman, Robert Merrill, and he is a never Trump person, took over the Austin-based political committee during the GOP primary in March. The colorful and widely criticized chairman has been denounced by GOP officials across the state and mocked by national media figures. On Tuesday, he took to the streets of Austin to join with anti-Trump protesters out of a scheduled appearance by the GOP nominee. He has been well known for his obscene tweets and had promised to bring the protest to Trump's appearance in Austin. Several people have tweeted photos of the local party leader wearing his white shorts, jester hat, and carrying the anti-Trump sign calling the candidate a child rapist. Do you ever see the Democrats going at each other like this? First of all, I don't think Robert Merrill is anything of a Republican, anything of a conservative. He is a piece of shit, is what he is. And that's putting it lightly. And again, this is something that the GOP should step in on and either squash it or toss his ass out. And make sure that he gets no support from the GOP at all. It is vile. Out of all the things that you can go after that man, I don't think it's appropriate to go after his hair, his orange tan, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that's appropriate, but that's one thing. Hold on. I'm having a lot of issues. One of my PCs went down last night and had to tear apart everything to get everything up and running to get a new UPC in here. So the camera angles are off. Everything's just off today. It is disgusting. It is vile. That this man is able. This one is, like I said, slanderous. And it's not even anything I've ever heard of. The man's making shit up just to try to attack his own parties. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of this. Well, he's not a conservative. He's not this. He's not that. All the values he's touting are very conservative points of view. I don't think it's conservative is the word you're thinking of. It seems these never-Trumpers are a part of this globalist movement. And I have no time for that bullshit. We ain't got time for that. It is... It is disgusting that this guy is allowed to be so slanderous. And the party has sat back and allowed it. I don't know. Well, time for a break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising, YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. Do you want to be part of the conversation? Go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. You can listen to both a live broadcast or watch a live broadcast while you join the conversation in the chat room. Totally lost. All right, so I came across a new article, and it's kind of refreshing. University of Chicago to incoming freshmen. No safe spaces here. The University of Chicago, one of America's most prestigious and selective university, is warning incoming students starting this fall not to expect safe spaces and a trigger-free existence during their 4-year journey through academia. The letter sent to the class of 2020, university officials said one of the defining characteristics of the school was its unwavering commitment to freedom of inquiry and expression. Civility and mutual respect are vital to the campus culture, the letter states, but not at the expense of shielding students from unpopular opinions or ideas. Quote, our commitment to academic freedom means that we do not support so-called trigger warnings. We do not cancel invited speakers because their topics might prove controversial. And we do not condone the creation of intellectual safe spaces, where individuals can retreat from ideas and perspectives at odds with their own, the letter states. The University of Chicago is consistently ranked one of the top universities in the world, and also one of the most selective. Only about 8% of more than 31,000 people who applied to enter the class of 2020 were accepted by the school. The warning from Chicago stands in sharp contrast to many other American universities that have gone out of their way to coddle students by protecting them from ideas they may find offensive or disturbing. University of Chicago is having none of it. To drive home the point, the letter to students includes a link to a report on freedom of expression issued by the university in January 2015. The report quotes a former president of the university, Hannah Gray, as saying that education should not be intended to make people comfortable. It is meant to make them think. Thank you, at least. And it's surprising that it is coming from Chicago, of all places. it kind of blows my mind. I love seeing that. We need more of that. This safe space, trigger warning, bull crap. How are people supposed to come up with new ideas? Please tell me how. That is how opposing, new ideas come from opposing ideas. You work it together to come up with a better idea. It just blows my mind how these universities have been so complacent in squashing new ideas. How they've been squashing freedom of speech, but yet they preach freedom of speech. College is where you're supposed to be pushed, not coddled. Someone said it, I think, last night on the Sackhead show, and it seems that we go through these little phases. And, like, recently we've had the phase of where we're coddling and the Democrat, all this bullshit that's been going on, and it's going to take a swing the other way. And I can see that where people get so tired, and each side, when they kind of get control, they push it to an extreme, which pushes people away from that ideology, and it swings the other way. And then the other way gets a little too greedy, and they push it too far, and it pushes people away back the other way. And I kind of agree with the statement that, I forget who it was. I think it was Clint or Beasy. And it was amazing that, not amazing, I shouldn't say that, but it's just, I've been thinking that and saying that for a while now. And I'm hoping. And if you look at a lot of elections, when you have, say, a Democrat in office for 2 terms, it usually swings to Republican. It's not a dead on. But I think the Democrat Party has pushed it a little too far for what people like and want. And now it's going to swing the other way. So David Clark, Sheriff David Clark, has a picture up on his Twitter. And it's the city of Baltimore, and it says, "Help, we're being oppressed." And it's a donkey sitting on the town. It says 50 years of Democrat policies. It's a good thing. People are starting to wake up and understand that these Democrats in these cities, and actually someone in one of the forums, that was pointed out, but they still try to blame it on the Republican. There has been a Republican in most of these cities, and decades, and I mean decades. But yet, it's still the Republicans' fault that the Democrats can't do anything that will advance their cities. And it's just scary how people are so blind to it. We got a long way to go in this country. Long, long way. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? Damn it. Now I'm not going to be able to find it. I just saw something out of the corner of my eye as I was shutting the webpage. Don't you hate that you'll see something just as you shut a page down? It's like, shit. Go to reopen it. You'll have God knows how many other page, like Twitters and all that above it. Hillary's just getting attacked bad. I love it. All right. All right, let me get on with our subjects. Brett Blair is reporting that Trump campaign in Minnesota finalizing Minnesota ballot issue today. Mr. Trump will appear on the November ballot. August 29th is the deadline. I don't see how they should even have an issue. That should have been all worked out a while ago. And that's the funny thing with Jill Stein and the Libertarian Johnson is both of them are not on all 50 states. I think Jill Stein, as of last night, was only on 39 states. I think Libertarian Johnson was only on 43 states at this time. A lot of false information has been put out about that. The Libertarians were trying to say, oh, no, we're on all 50 states. Well, on their own page, it shows that they're not. They have lawsuits in, which, Jesus Christ. So they don't get, they missed the deadline for whatever reason. So their answer is to sue the states. They miss, or whatever the reason is. It just seems like everybody's sue happy anymore. I didn't get my way, so I'm going to sue. And no, it's not about fair, because I got an argument with somebody about that. Well, it's not fair. Life is not fair. Because if it was fair, shit, I want on all 50 state ballots. To be fair, I want my dog to be on all 50 states ballots. If you want to talk about fairness, why isn't my dog on all 50 states ballot as president candidate? Why am I not on all 50 states? It's not fair. Because there's rules that govern how you get your name on the ballots. It's that simple. There's rules. To me, sitting there crying because you didn't, for whatever reason, didn't get enough signatures, didn't get it in time, and then you want to sue. I don't understand where you have a leg to stand on. You know, there's some basic rules, because if not, everybody's just going to be on the ballot. And if I don't win, then I'm going to sue because it's not fair that I won. I mean, really, that's how bad it's getting nowadays. And this is for supposed conservative crying about it. And it was over because Trump was 1 point ahead in North Carolina in the saying how it's all in the favor of Hillary and Obama, and that's how it goes, and it's their fault, yada, yada, and I need to read this site and that site. It's a problem. The person only reads one site. They don't go around. They don't get differing opinions. Limiting yourself to one opinion is not a good idea. Saying that it's not fair that Jill Stein isn't on the North Carolina. And that goes to show how there's favoritism towards Hillary Clinton. I know there's favoritism towards Hillary Clinton, but Jill Stein was not in the poll because she is not on the ballot in North Carolina. It'd be stupid. You wouldn't get an actual reading. I look this way. If we are there, that there was a 1-point difference in North Carolina, then really think of how much ahead he really is. Because they had to rig the polls to get just that 1% difference. Think of how bad it had to be to get more than that. Like I said, just don't. You need to look at several different opinions. I can't believe it. Clinton is still trying to defend the foundation. Everybody, including liberals, Democrats, progressives, have said she needs to shut that thing down. And yet she is still trucking away. Still trucking away. It's, I don't know. But there's a new group. There's a new super PAC in town. It's called Trumpocrats. Lifelong Democrats turned Trump supporter Christian Rickers, the Virginia-based executive director of the Trumpocrats PAC, told news agency that Hillary Clinton is not representing any of the working people. She's not trustworthy on almost every single issue, Rickers said Wednesday. Rickers continued, They are the architects of pretty much what has gutted out rural America and the Rust Belt. They are the reason the Rust Belt is rusting. The group plans a barnstorming tour, which Rickers details in full interview. We're getting going with the TrumpocratsPAC.com, and we're going through Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, Virginia, North Carolina to spread the message and supplement the efforts of the Trump campaign. And this, I don't know how much the Never Trumps are doing to help actually going out to campaign. But it goes on to say how many Democrats, how many more are switching over to help Trump. And that is not proof that Trump is a Democrat. That is proof that his policies are making more sense to a larger portion of the United States than Hillary's is. It shows how Christine Powers says an element of sexism in questioning Hillary Clinton's health. No, it's not sexism, you nitwit. She does not look healthy. She can't handle the stress of campaigning. She couldn't handle the stress of doing the Sunday morning talk shows. How can she handle the stress of being president? It has nothing to do with the sex. It has to deal with health. She looks like she belongs in the hospital, not on the campaign trail. She's hardly ever on the campaign trail. For whatever her reason is, it's not the most smartest thing to be doing. She's not out there. Her numbers don't look good, I'll tell you that. In my opinion, they do not look good. Sorry, I'm looking at a bunch of different articles and maps and I am not sitting here and saying Trump's ahead because I'm backing Trump. I say Trump is ahead because I putting too much of the information together and seeing how these numbers are pointing that he is ahead. I'm looking at the big picture, not just telephone calls. You have a group that is refusing to admit that they are voting Trump for fear of being attacked. But they're going to vote because that's more in privacy. I think there's a larger portion. The numbers are too overwhelming between the Facebook, Twitter, the videos, the campaigns. I mean, they said the same thing that Trump didn't have the popularity in the primary. But when you looked at the rally numbers, Trump was doubling, tripling the nearest opponent. Whether it was Jeb Bush, Marco, Cruz, any of them. He had a larger following. That was... His numbers were, showing up in actual votes. And that's what I'm looking at moreover. Not just blindly looking at one piece of data. And I know I glanced over that earlier today. But I'm looking over the greater news than just one piece or two pieces. Taking a look at a couple things. And today's political scheme. Really, all right. JFK changed the political campaigning when he added in so much television time. He really changed that. I think you have Obama really changed things by using Facebook, Twitter, all the social media outlets. As much as I don't like Obama, he was very smart in his tactics of using those social medias to get out his voice. So there's groups of people that just they haven't caught up with that. Even 8 years later, they haven't caught up that you have to look at all this different means of data than simply calling and asking people who they're going to vote for. You know, sometimes those damn polls get so long and annoying that they kind of just, I don't know, they're not exactly truthful in their answers. But trying to put my thoughts together, and it's the data is not backing up Hillary Clinton. And yes, I could see it's one thing to say the polls are rigged, and it's another to see that they've actually gotten caught at changing the data. And that's where I'm backing up, not just because people say, because there's actual proof that they have changed the data. And every time one of these polling companies get caught changing the data or changing the algorithm to put Hillary ahead, if you ever notice, right afterwards, the polls come out that, oh, Trump had a huge hit. He caught up. And then, you know, they'll take a little time. And then all of a sudden, Hillary's back in the lead. That makes me wonder really what's going on. It really does. But with that, it is that time. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. While you're there, you can join the chat room and be part of the conversation. So you can listen or watch broadcast while being part of the conversation. Just go to Reaver.one and click on the live stream. And last but not least, if you want to support the show, go to Reaver.one and click on the shop button. Pick yourself up a custom survival bracelet. Many different style colors. Custom made just for you. While you're there, pick yourself up a t-shirt, Second Amendment t-shirt, anti-Hillary t-shirts. And last but not least, you can pick up a pocket Constitution. So go to reaver.one/shop. Now, it's kind of funny. I touched on it slightly Tuesday. Condoleezza Rice, Hillary Clinton has been trying to now blame Colin Powell for all her issues of her using a private email server. She is trying to blame it on a black man. He's come out and said that it was over a year after she had it set up and used did he talk about that he used one also for certain things, but he never had any unclassified documents, which maybe we need to take a look into it as a separate issue to if it's still around, just to make sure that there wasn't any classified information on the server. Secondly, to make sure that he turned over all the documents like he was supposed to, like Hillary was supposed to, that she didn't. The lies go on and on. But yeah, now Condoleezza Rice has stepped forward and says that she doesn't remember Colin Powell telling Hillary to use a private email server. It is disgusting that Hillary, throughout her whole life, every time there's a problem, every time something comes up, all she does is point her finger at everybody else. It's everybody else's fault that she screwed up. She had nothing ever to do with it, and now she's trying to throw a black man under the bus to blame, of all people. It's absolutely disgusting. Hillary Clinton chose to use a private server. She chose to email classified information back and forth. She chose to delete those emails to try to hide everything. No one told her to do that. It was her choice, not Colin Powell's. It is tiring every time. And just think, this is what we're going to have to look forward to if she is elected for the next 4 to 8 years. Of issue after issue after issue popping up and her blaming everybody else for her mistakes. No one told her to do that private email server. The excuse and the lie that she gave is she didn't want to carry more than one phone. Well, Jiminy Crickets. I know my phone can handle, I have like 4 to 5 email accounts on my one phone. And it's easy to keep them separated of which account or which. It's not that hard. Even technology going back 8 years ago, it was not that hard to have your emails go to a phone. This woman comes up with more excuses. And I think she did the dumbest thing, her and her husband, for attacking the FBI after they saved her. Dang it. Don't you hate when you got a sneeze, it comes on, and then it leaves? She attacked the FBI director, her sex predator husband, impeached president sex predator husband, attacked the head of the FBI. And now, all of a sudden, there's some emails that were disappeared. The FBI have found. There are now issues popping up with the Clinton Foundation and and the FBI may not be so quick to cover up. May not be so quick. And there's supposed to be more emails to come out of the WikiLeaks that might not be too good for her. They're trying to pin it on somebody else to direct the conversation off of Hillary Clinton. That's all she's trying to do. Clinton Foundation, she's trying to pass that off as a everything's a right-wing conspiracy theory. Everything is a right-wing conspiracy theory. And if you go back to when her husband was president, everything was a right-wing conspiracy theory. The sex in the Oval Office, her husband cheating on her, was a right-wing conspiracy theory. Even though it was all proven to be true, that is her go-to phrase. It's a right-wing conspiracy theory. And I think you got enough people that see that is her go-to phrase when her or her husband are in trouble. And I challenge any Hillary supporters. Try to prove all these right-wing conspiracy theories and how it is not pointed to her. Whether it's she broke the law or not, I want you to look at all these scandals that surround her, that she's a part of. And you're going to tell me they're all some conspiracy? How can you sit there and say, and it's same with Obama, there's so many of them anymore, and you're going to say that there's coincidence that all these, oh no, it's just the Republicans are trying to attack. Maybe you need to start taking a look at some of this. I just... I mean, she went so far as to say she had gotten permission from the State Department to use her own email server, which they later said no permission was even asked and it would have never been granted. Everything that she has linking herself to the email has been proven to be a lie. Even the reason why no indictment was being recommended is a lie. And now we have all these questionable donations of a pay-to-play during her time as State Department, head of the State Department. The Clinton Foundation has taken in a lot of questionable donations and are still accepting those donations. Even in a time when left-wing progressive papers like Huffington Post are going, shut it down, shut it down. We can't even create enough lies to cover that up. And with all of this, the millennial voters are walking away from Hillary. The more they learn about her, the more that they're understanding how much corruption is surrounding her. The millennials weren't around during Bill Clinton's presidency. So they didn't know about a lot what's going on. But more and more, they're being educated on it. And the long trail of corruption for all these years. And now these millennials are going, shit, this woman's corrupt. This is exactly what we've been complaining about. And the millennials, for all their faults, they are worried about our government. They are worried about the corruption that's in there. They can see it. They don't want it there. But they've been told it's the Democrats for so many years. And now they're starting to see firsthand how it's the establishment, like Hillary Clinton is the leader in this corruption that is within Washington, D.C. And a lot of these millennials are not tied to a party. They're tied to an idea. Can't say that's wrong. I can't say. I may not agree with their ideas all the time, but I can't say they're wrong that they're backing their ideas and not a party. That I have no issue with. I'll go against party lines if I don't agree with the person. I don't agree with Jeb Bush. I don't agree with Cruz with what he's become. So I would never support those two. Rand Paul's still a little 50-50 on him. Some of his statements have me a little nervous. But he's still 50-50. It's the main reason why I've been a conservative, had conservative ways for a long time. I came to the party. I stayed independent because I didn't want to be locked to any party. But with the hell that Obama has given us, to show that I am not happy with what he had done, that's when I registered for the Republican Party. I have held the ideas longer than I've been in the party, let's say that. I am not going to just blindly anymore back just because there's an RD. I've said that for a while now. I don't think that's the proper way. I don't think that does our founding fathers any justice. And these millennials, that is kind of, it's not that they're doing it so much for the founding fathers. They're doing it because they're ideas. The youth always have these ideas. Not when they get older, they start to learn a lot about life and that their ideas were a little out there. If Hillary Clinton does not have the millennial vote, she could be in deep trouble. I already think she is in deep trouble. I don't think, and I very much could be wrong, but this is my opinion. I think this might be a little bit of a landslide for Trump. I don't think there's as much support as they say there is for Hillary. And I've explained how that is, how and why they have that support. They put up the false numbers for her because it's a psychological. A lot of people are more apt to back someone that's winning. And I think by doing that, they're giving false hope to people. And this last subject we're going to cover for the show today, it just, I'm so sick of this shit. And the person that they have at the head of this quote-unquote science has a degree in mechanical engineering. But Bill Nye, the science guy, is supposed to be this expert on global warming. And they're going to sit there and say that the flooding in Louisiana is a result of global warming. Well, they say climate change, but what they say, droughts are proof and result of global warming. Floods are the result of global warming. Heavy snows, no snow, warm weather, cold weather, wet weather, dry weather is all the result of climate change. Well, I say to you, make up your damn mind, because that, what you just described, is weather. And there's nothing we could do about Mother Nature. And that's all it is Mother Nature. And certainly, I mean, he says, for us, on my side of this is the result of climate change. It's only going to get worse. I don't have the answers to this, except it is going to get worse. It almost certainly will get worse. Everybody, as the ocean gets warmer, which it is getting. No, it isn't. There has been no increase by NASA's data, who is the one that check it. There has been no warming of it. The only way they can get this bullshit, questionable science is by lies and by force. The guy was fun to watch when he was on TV. But now, it's just getting old. The lies are getting old. Global warming is nothing more than a way to spread money. There is no proof. This is nothing more than Mother Nature. We cannot control her. These exact same weather patterns have come throughout history before there was any of this modern age equipment that they blame it on. They acknowledge that, but still then just go on to say how we have to trust them. It's there. There's no science behind it. There's no data behind it. And we're just supposed to sit back and trust them. Well, I don't trust them. The data's flawed. They've been caught manipulating the data. None of the computer models that they base their whole theories on have actually come true. Not a one. There is kids that graduated this past year that have not seen not even a half a degree of warming. New York's not flooded like they predicted. Louisiana is in a flood area. It floods very easy. Kind of like California, there's a lot of high fire areas, and they have fires. But they've also tried to blame that on global warming, climate change, whatever the hell new words they want to use. Every time it's disproven, they change the name to try to wrap around their theory. Basically, they have the answer, and they're trying to wrap the data to prove their answer. Well, when you have that, that's not science. Anybody can prove once you have the idea, the answer, you can get the question. And that's what they're doing. And with that, it's the end of the show. I want to thank everybody. And I will see everybody tomorrow at 11 a.m. Again, I am so humbled and appreciative. And I do apologize for not being here yesterday. I tried to get into the Trump rally. It was like last minute I found out and tried to, without success. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense, and I will be back tomorrow. Have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.